Alright, let's look at this image. First things first, let's decide what we want it to look like when we're done. Looking closely, the foreground is really underexposed, and that's actually where the main focal point is. The sky though, that looks pretty close to how we'd like it to end up. So let's start by exposing the front of the image properly. We'll adjust the brightness, contrast, ambience and highlights, pulling out more detail in those bright areas. Same goes for the shadows, we might even drop them a little bit to add a bit more contrast. Then let's warm things up a touch to give it that cozy, inviting feel. One of the great things about Snapseed is that you can go back and tweak any edits you've made. So now we'll jump into the undo function and paint the sky back in just to bring out a bit more strength and depth in that area. From here, we'll rotate the image to straighten out the horizon. We'll also crop it slightly, maybe trimming away some of the unnecessary detail at the front. That helps us position the focal point within the middle 2/3 of the frame, which is always a bit more pleasing to the eye. I like to add a bit more detail to my images, so let's bump up the structure just a little. And now we'll add a vignette. Even though we lightened up things earlier, adding a touch of darkness around the edges gives the image more depth and helps the centre pop. Again, we'll use the undo brush to soften the vignette in the sky. It was just a wee bit too strong. We'll also lighten up parts around the foreground, but leave in some textures to keep that sense of depth. Next, I always run the image through a black and white filter. It's a great way to check if the contrast is working, and sometimes it looks great in monochrome. In this case, I felt it was a bit flat, so I added a touch more contrast to help it pop. Then we'll go through the HDR filter. HDR brings out both shadow and highlight details, but it can be overdone quite easily. Too much and it starts to look unrealistic. Finally, I added a bit of saturation to boost the colours and give the image that extra bit of strength. And that's it, image done. Let's take a look at the before and after and see how far we've come.